Season 1 of MultiVersus was just released a few hours ago. This is super exciting, and with this update came a whole page of patch notes and balance changes. I think there's going to be a complete meta shift, and we're going to get into that meta shift, and the two characters I predict are going to be on the absolute top of this game, and I'm going to be playing one of them while I give you guys my thoughts. Now, this game is actually super lucky. This is the first game I've played today. This is between the two characters that I think will be the meta, which is Tom and Jerry and Arya. Tom and Jerry is going to be definitely in the meta. I'm very, very confident on that one, because Tom and Jerry received basically no changes with these patch notes because they don't really know how to balance him. He's a complicated character to balance considering he's very, very good at a high level and very, very bad at a low level. They really do want to address Tom and Jerry and make some changes, but they just don't know how to properly balance out his kit yet because, like what I said, he's dominating at high levels and playing horribly at low levels. They don't want to buff him because then he'll be way even better at high level where he's already extremely high tier. And if they nerf him, he'll be better balanced for high level play, obviously, but this will affect the lower level of gameplay a lot more, and new players or lower level players will have a much harder time performing with him, which is definitely not good for the overall game's balance because they do have to cater more to the casual players than the competitive players, obviously, since the casual players make up a bigger percentage of their game's player base. Arya is sort of in the same position as Tom and Jerry, where she's a much higher skill character than some of the other characters that we've seen in the past meta, such as Finn. But Arya also has a ton of potential. That's so annoying when the sword gets stuck on that wall. It only happens on this map. Arya has a ton of combo potential, especially if you're good with her and can be stringing out these combos super quickly and connecting them together very, very well. She doesn't really struggle from any attack decay because she's never using the same ability over and over. She's not a very spammy character, but she does still take a high level of skill to play well with her. You have to be very conservative with your abilities, know when to use them, when to save them. You have to know how to get that cooldown back for your dagger since it is your best combo starting ability. You have to be able to have a very good neutral game when you don't have any real combo starters. And now that she's playing more consistently and her hitboxes match more accurately to where she should be hitting, or sorry, hurt boxes, not hitboxes, I'm definitely predicting an Arya meta. The last thing that I think is going to affect the Arya meta and make it very much so dominant is the fact that Arya is the free character for this week's character pool, which means a lot more people are going to be trying out Arya, falling in love with her, and then buying her once she's not the free character of the week anymore. Overall, I love Arya. I'm super excited for this. I think that she's a very high skill character, so losing to her isn't going to be as frustrating as losing to somebody like a Shaggy or a Finn, where you just know that you're probably better than them. I played Arya a lot when the game first came out in beta, and I was trying to decide on a main, and I really fell in love with her playstyle and just kind of the high risk, high reward type playstyle that she has. I really like her upward slash move, and I think it is just really cool. I like the air juggling moves a lot more than like the ground combos. They just feel much more like rewarding to pull off, and you can really get some easy KOs on people when you shouldn't realistically be getting KOs on them. But I couldn't really main her fully because of how fundamentally broken she was, like in the game, when her abilities weren't connecting correctly and weren't teleporting her to the enemy. I guess it's not a teleport, it's a dash, which I think is an important distinction because when you dash, you can actually be hit while you're in that animation going at them. It's really hard window to hit you out of, but like if they throw a projectile or something and then you're dashing at them, you'll be hit and the dash will be canceled. Whereas if it was a teleport, it would just instantly put you on their character. This is another good game to show this off though, because I think that Harley Quinn will also be in the meta. She won't be as like dominant and highly played as Arya and Tom and Jerry in my opinion, but Harley Quinn we'll be seeing a lot more of her. She's definitely another one of those kind of high risk, high reward characters as the second lightest character in the game. So she'll be getting KO'd pretty easily, especially if you're landing consistent combos on her with other characters like Arya or Tom and Jerry. She's another very fast character, which means she's harder to combo with and harder to perform those string attacks that you really want to be getting for high damage with Harley. Her infinite will be removed soon, which I'm very, very happy about because in my opinion, there should be no infinites in the game. Right there, you can see something that kind of demonstrates the high risk, high reward of Arya because Arya is the lightest character. Like how I said that Harley Quinn is the second lightest, well, Arya has the #1 slot. So Arya will be getting KO'd the easiest out of any character in the entire game at the lowest damage out of any character in the entire game. That's part of what I think adds such a high skill cap to Arya mains is seeing that you can be KO'd really, really easily at a high level when they know how to play around you. But if you're playing well and dishing out that damage and hitting those combos, she can feel super oppressive. I know firsthand that playing against a good Arya is extremely frustrating, but at the end of the day, I always have respect for Arya mains when they beat me because playing at a high level on Arya is difficult. I think the added depth to her character with the mask ability is super cool and adds something unique that no other character really has. Oof. Harley's air attacks are also really good. Harley's juggling, in my opinion, is the best in the game. She can juggle characters the easiest and most efficiently out of any other character, which I think is cool. I think it kind of matches her character. Oof, that should have been kill if I'd comboed that. I'm really scared here because I'm at 95, which even though she's at 116, we're basically at even damages because I'm the lightest character in the game. So she's going to be KOing me just as easily as I'm going to be KOing her. Ooh, that might be a KO. Ooh. It's so terrifying playing Arya at low health. I'm really excited to get better at Arya. I was having a lot of fun getting better with her, but I eventually kind of like rage quit and stopped playing her just because her attacks didn't work, and that was kind of frustrating. Not sure what this Velma's doing here. She wants me to go into that speech bubble thing so badly. She's using that slow perk, which does give you a 15% slowdown now instead of a 20% slowdown, which I think was definitely a needed change. I hate playing against Velmas, man. I really do. I think this meta is going to be a lot better because we're going to see less of the spammy characters like Finn, like Shaggy, the ones that are just super quick and kind of run you around the stage using abilities that don't take any brain power to use, so they're super frustrating. And we're going to see a lot more patient kind of characters like Tom and Jerry and like Arya, where you have to actually be like tactical with your abilities. I know it's a crazy thought coming out of the meta that we just had, but I'm really excited to see how pro play comes with Tom and Jerry still being meta, but they're going to see a lot other characters. I think that the meta is more diverse now and you can use more characters efficiently since the dominant characters aren't going to be like extremely dominant like Bugs was. Bugs kind of made the game to where if you weren't playing Bugs, you were just at a constant disadvantage to every other Bugs player. Like Bugs was so good. These changes should help to balance Bugs out a little bit. I don't think it was the only changes that we needed for Bugs, but they should help. Oh, Velma. Oh, good dodge. This should be a KO though. Oh, come on. That should. Okay, if you're gonna give me that, I'll take it. I'm gonna mask inside here so that she'll push me and not know. Oh, nope, didn't work. Oof. Her light bulb makes it so hard to punish that early. I don't know why I'm jumping before I use it. See how she can so quickly transition to that upwards attack? She's so quick. She's like Finn, bro. Like, actually, her attacks come out so quickly. Ugh.
Are you listening?
No, I timed it wrong. Very unfortunate. She doesn't have any speech bubbles left, though, thank God. Nice. Everybody stop what you're doing right now. We unlocked the yawn. Oh, I'm so happy about that. Raindog is my favorite character besides Arya because he's just so cute. Raindog seriously has some incredible character design. I love his little tail wag emote. When he gets sad, it's actually so cute, like when he loses. And this skin is phenomenal. Oh, look, it's so good. I love it so much. Look at that emote. This game should be interesting because this is my first match playing against a Bugs since the update. This should be good. I have no idea if Bugs is still going to be really strong or if they've actually nerfed him. My predictions just from reading the patch notes and no other information, just like reading the statistics and what they changed, is that he's still going to be very good. All these Bugs mains on Twitter, I've been on Twitter a lot today just kind of looking around. I'm super excited for the update. Everybody that mains Bugs is acting like they gutted him or something. They really didn't. His kit is still going to be very strong. Okay, right there, Arya's attack just did the same bug that was happening before twice in a row where it doesn't actually teleport you where it's supposed to teleport you. I thought that was fixed. I haven't had that occur yet. That's my first time that's happened, but it happened twice in a row back to back, so I'm a little worried about that. What used to happen is when that bug would happen, it would happen for the entire game, and you wouldn't be able to make it stop. So I'm a little worried now that that's gone for the whole game, but I need to hit an up dash on him so I can see if it's still bugged or not. Anyway, back to Bugs. They definitely didn't gut his kit. I still think he'll be very good in dominating at a ton of ranges, just like he used to. I just think that now his abilities are a little bit more deliberate, if that makes sense. He can't just mindlessly spam them. Now it's like almost mindlessly spamming, but you have to think about it a little bit. Bugs was extremely overpowered for this update, and he definitely needed to be addressed. In my opinion, they didn't actually address him aggressively enough. I think the biggest change that they made even is just that his pie doesn't slow, which is really good. His pie, I like that change a lot, but when the biggest change to a character that all around has an extremely dominant kit at any range is that you change the projectile he throws, I think that more needed to happen to Bugs. Absolutely. I know a bunch of Bugs mains are going to be mad at me for that, but the character's OP. I don't think he'll be game-breakingly OP like he was before. I think that he'll still be S tier, and if not, he'll be high A tier at very least. I don't think you'll see him on a single person's B tier list unless they're a Bugs main. But I just think overall the character will feel a lot more consistent with the other characters in the game and not just be like obscenely broken, far and away the best character in the game. That should be a KO. Beautiful. Now I'm extremely low. This is very low for Arya. 120 is crazy for Arya. Let's hope I can get a stick. Maybe get a little damage in before I go out. See, the ability didn't work there again. All right, I'm going to bait his sword, make it seem like I'm going so he jumps, and then I'll throw it when he lands. In my opinion, the sword should have some priority over those projectiles and actually go through them. I think that would be a super good quality of life change to Arya, that certain projectiles, not all of them, like not the pie or something, but when you pick up those map projectiles, the sword should go through them and break them on the way. Your ability should be better than a map spawned projectile that just randomly comes out of nowhere. When RNG is just a random RNG, that's fine. When RNG counters characters' abilities, that's, I think, stupid. Maybe there's something else intended for those that I don't know about. This Bugs isn't even bad. I think that he's just struggling a little bit to close the gap on me now that I actually like have some way to play against that gap. He just has to play a little bit more deliberate. I still don't think it was enough. I just think that he won't be game breaking anymore, which I guess is all I could really ask for their most popular character. They're not going to gut their most popular character when he's being played the most, you know, because that would just make a bunch of people probably quit the game, honestly. To be fair, if all the characters that I like to play got gutted, I might not play the game anymore either. I'd just wait until they got fixed. I don't think any character in the game should be gutted, to be clear. I don't think any character should be unusable or like so bad that it just like shouldn't even be considered. I think every character has a place in this game, or not at the moment they do, but I think every character should have a place in this game in an ideal world. All in all, I'm super happy with this update. I think that a lot of the stability issues were fixed, some of the FPS drops were fixed. I'm finally able to play cross-plat and not feel like I'm putting myself at a disadvantage and playing on a 2-bar constantly. I think that the balance changes are pretty good overall and brings a lot of the characters that were really bad up and a lot of characters that were really good down, which in my opinion, everybody should be in the middle, right? Like in a perfect world, there is no tier list because every character would be on the same tier, but that's obviously not possible. I would never suggest that or expect that. Overall though, the game actually feels really good to play. Arya feels much more consistent, which is super good to hear because she was broken before, and not like the OP broken kind of way, like the character doesn't work broken kind of way. I think that the Tom and Jerry and Arya meta is going to be a really nice breath of fresh air from the Bugs and Finn meta, because Tom and Jerry and Arya both take a lot of skill and a high level of like game knowledge to play, whereas Finn and Bugs don't. So I'm happy for this new leaf of the game. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know which characters you would like to see in the meta. If you're playing an off-meta character to be buffed, let me know down below, because I think it would actually be really cool to see some of the way less played characters like Steven Universe or something be meta. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and check out this video that's going to pop up here in a few seconds. It'll be worth the watch.